look up! Look way up!
At the latest in four-wheeler protection, going all the way from front to back. And never look down at new weather stripping, for all of this is an investment in the future of your vehicles. Coming up next on Motorhead Garage.
Gonna fit pretty good. Hey, welcome to Motorhead Garage. Well, you know, a lot of you guys out there have an ATV in your garage. This is a Yamaha Grizzly 700. But they don't come with much protection if you're going to take them out in the woods. Now, what I have right here is a bumper. This is from Bison bumper, and we're going to be putting a whole bumper system around this thing to give it some extra protection. Now, this is the rear bumper on here. Comes with all the hardware. Everything's complete. You don't really have to drill any holes anywhere. All you have to do is just start to mount it, and we're going to show you exactly how to do it. Now, a couple little tricks on this thing. You may have to do a little fitting, but you want to put your bolts in here, make sure everything lines up, drop them in, and just barely snug them. You want this loose before you get everything on. Once you have everything on, then you can tighten it up. If you don't do that, it's going to be tough for you. But Sam's working on the front bumper right up front.
You know, this particular unit is one of the most popular sellers. It's a great little machine, but you know, a lot of plastic here, the headlights are vulnerable. If you're bouncing this through the woods and hitting heavy brush and stuff, you can do some damage. That's where the Bison bumper comes in. These things are really well made, and if you look at it, it's got a wrinkle finish on it. It matches the machine, all the parts on it are from the factory. And of course, very well made. They're on a CNC laser cutter, a CNC bender, and the welding is done by Canadian certified welders, similar to the AWI welders here in the United States. Hey, Matt, come on in here and give me a hand here. So I don't scratch things.
Sure
This
thing.
is Matt from Bison Bumper. Make some pretty nice bumpers here. I'll hold this up. You want to put a bolt in there?
Yes, sir.
You get all the hardware with the kit, get a good set of instructions, flat washer on top and bottom of the clamps, put the bolts in like Dave said. We'll run them up a little bit, but we want to make it so we can move them around a little bit. You get that okay? We got this lift up high to accommodate Dave. He's tall. You get that in there? I got these brackets over here. So we'll put these bolts in. There's 4 bolts that hold this on. Now, on the bottom, there's some extra bolts that come. You have some kind of a winch option. What's that all about?
That's put your winch roller on the front so that the winch roller sits right flush with the bumper as opposed to be recessed in the back.
Oh, that's great. And it makes it handy for your winch. So we'll go ahead and bolt this up. Then we'll put on the sidebars. Easy to drop these things, isn't it?
All right, now we're ready to go ahead and install the side rails on here. Again, easy to do. Put them up like so. And it's always a good idea to kind of pre-fit some of this stuff. Okay, Sammy, I'm going to hook that together right there.
That's all swaged right there. That fits on like that.
All right, now you can see what we've done here is we've already mounted this bracket right down here. That's what these hook to. So turn that down, let's slide that under.
This is why you want to leave everything loose so you got a little wiggle room.
Exactly. Wiggle room.
There we go.
Exactly what I like.
Yep. And I'll tell you, Bison Bumper builds these for not only Yamaha, but for Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, Can-Am, all of the popular models, and even like on a Honda where the stuff is not wrinkle finish, it's a gloss finish, their product comes gloss finish to match. You know, these are pretty nice for hunters in the woods and stuff, but you know what else they do with these, Dave? They herd cattle with these. You putting washers top and bottom?
Yes, sir.
All right, we won't tighten everything up till we get the other sidebar on.
No, that's the key. Leave it all loose so you can make any slight adjustments that you need.
This really protects these fenders, does a great job, and you can see this would be neat, coming up beside a cattle and give it a little nudge and it move down the road. And you don't have to worry about bringing a vet out for your horse, huh?
Yeah. Wish I had this when I lived on the farm. No, back then it was all walking and hustling them around. You didn't have these things.
Are you whining?
I am whining.
Am I gonna have to relive that again?
Bring this up just a little bit. Don't go too tight on me there, bud.
I'm just getting it in.
I gotta watch you like a hawk.
I know.
Okay. So how you doing on that?
I'm okay.
All right.
That's as tight as I want to go before we fit this other piece.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shall we get the other side started?
Sure.
Do that. Meantime, folks, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we got a whole nother thing we're going to be doing here on Motorhead Garage. But you can see what this looks like It'll be a nice piece when we get it out of here. Stay with us.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage. You can see what Davey and I have here today. We got this little Yamaha Viking, pretty rugged little utility vehicle. It's got a tailgate on it, but it's plastic, and there's nothing to protect the back of it. Now this has got 3 seats. You can take the crew, put a lot in the bed, work it hard around the ranch or the farm, but you don't want to damage an expensive vehicle like this. You want to get as much life out of it as you can, so you need something to protect the back. You got me covered there?
I got you covered.
This is Matt. He's from Bison Bumper. Tell us a little about this bumper you make.
Well, CNC welded, CNC bended, powder coated finish to match the Jeep. Everything's covered. We make it for the Viking. We also make it for the Pioneer. We make it for the Brute Force.
Great. And all these brackets, you get the nice set of instructions. Let's go ahead and put this up. Go over there and give me a hand.
All right.
It's bolt on. All right, I've put some bolts through already. There's little holes in the chassis here. You take a bolt and a washer, put this through the hole in the chassis. The bracket lines right up. And they give you the hardware in the kit from Bison. And it's also got the nylock nuts, so when you bolt it up, it's going to stay. And you got 2 bolts aside, and then you got a set of brackets that goes up to the chassis where there's a captured nut. All right, and there's a bolt that goes up here, and that'll protect it. So you make these for a lot of different units now. These things all bolt on. Every one of them comes with good hardware, right?
Yep, and we put some extra hardware for you.
How big is this? What, 1.5 inch steel?
Yep.
It's a pretty nice piece. We'll go ahead and bolt this thing up. And let's take a look and see what Davey's doing up front.
All right, well, Sam's been on the back working. I've been busy up here in front. What we're going to do is mount the front bumper, and this is what it looks like. It's all nicely welded together, powder coated, so it's a nice beefy piece, and it goes on pretty easy too. Got these 4 mounting points right here. It's going to bolt right up here to the original bumper. And then you slide this on like so, hold it. Then we got the hardware that goes with it. What I'll do is I'll just slide this right in here initially just to hold this up so it won't fall off. That way I can go ahead, put all the rest of them on there, and we'll get this one started, and then I get the bottom 2 on there, and then we'll be in business. Now you want to leave this stuff kind of loose, only because if you don't, you try to tighten everything up, and then you try to put other things on it. It doesn't work too well. So we'll do it like so. There we go. What's nice about it too, it's got those nice nylock nuts. Makes it work real well. Get this nut on. And then we're ready to go around here. Now, Matt, if you want to give me a hand, while this is loose, we'll go ahead. We're going to put this side rail on. These 2 bolts right here come with the kit. Now here's what they look like. These are nice stainless steel bolts, as you can see. What we did is we removed the original equipment bolts. Now you want to make sure that you take one out at a time, put another bolt in. Otherwise, if you get these bolts out of here, it's almost impossible to get 2 bolts back in it. So we've already done that. Now let's slide this in here, Matt. Got her lined up there. Turn it down a little bit there so we can twist it. There you go. Keep going. Now you just walk that right up there to these 2 where it's supposed to go. There's one in there, and there we got the other one started. Okay, there we go. Now we put our nuts and washers on there. And we'll get this tightened up and we'll be in business. Go ahead and put your washer nut on there. And now you get an idea, you can see exactly how this is all gonna go. So we'll get this tightened up on this side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And when we have this all done, you can see it's gonna look pretty nice. Okay, let's go ahead and tighten these up, Matt. All right. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and finish this up. In the meantime, we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we got a lot more here on Motorhead Garage, so stay with us. Okay, Matt, you're not quitting yet. Come on, get on this thing. There we go.